With Game Journalism Network. Joining me is GJN contributor John Smith.
Hello.
And we're here with an important update for AirPlay 2. But before we do that, we have a couple of things we wish to update viewers of GJN and people who have been following GJN on a regular basis. First things first, we would like to make it very clear that we have been doing everything we can to maintain a neutral stance on everything involving our coverage in gaming journalism and with Gamergate. That being said, this has let people wonder when we brought on John Smith as a contributor. We would like to make it very clear that John Smith himself is not a journalist, and he will admit that himself right now.
I'm like 20. I just graduated high school. I'm not a journalist in any stretch of the imagination.
That being said, we would like to make it very clear that he's here as a contributor, but when he's here on GJN, he's made it the effort to both recuse himself in any way, shape, or form, and let it be known that if there is any conflict of interest, he addresses that to me and our producer. At the same time, while he's here on GJN, he is maintaining a neutral stance, regardless of what he has personally done on any other social media accounts or any other websites. The same goes for myself. Any personal Twitter or any personal social media sites or blogs that I maintain are not related to GJN. When I'm here on GJN, I maintain a neutral stance on both Gamergate and everything involving gaming coverage. Everything else is not related to Gaming Journalism Network. That being said, we're going to go with our AirPlay 2 update, which is something that a lot of people have been waiting for. The biggest one is that AirPlay 2 is still happening. We've made this very clear before with the previous AirPlay ending, but we will make it clear that AirPlay 2 will still be happening in February in Tampa, Florida. The exact location will be announced, but we do have some people who are returning to this AirPlay. John, which AirPlay contributors are coming to AirPlay 2 so far? Who can we confirm?
So right now we can confirm that barring any scheduling conflicts that can't be foreseen right now, Mark Sebb and Derek Smart have confirmed that they are willing to come back and continue the conversation with AirPlay 2.0. We're currently in contact, and we've sent information to many of the other former panelists, as well as a few new names, though we're still waiting for confirmation on their end.
What we also are doing is we're doing everything we can to bring in people who have been against the Gamergate controversy in some way, shape, or form to this discussion. We are going to have a new slate of people, but we are going to continue exactly where the original AirPlay left off before the bomb threat, and we will have other panels during the day. A lot of these panels will be live streamed for people who cannot attend this AirPlay 2. At the same time, we're going to be having more events, and all of that will be updated on the official Game Journalism Network website, gamejournalism.net. But one more update that we need to inform everybody on is that we cannot do this by ourselves. GJN is still an independent network, which means we have very little funding to do what we do now, which means we are opening up to crowdfunding and for hopefully some level of funding to help with AirPlay 2. Right now, we're currently asking for $10,000, and all the money that we'll be getting will be dedicated to hosting AirPlay 2. That means securing the location, bringing in people, guest speakers, equipment, and security to make sure that this event can go off without a problem. All the money will be transparent, and we'll be showing receipts on the official website on Game Journalism Network. John, what can you tell us about the GoFundMe campaign as it is now?
As it is now, we actually launched it a little early. I wanted to wait till today, but right now we've already, as far as I know, and as far as me speaking right now, I don't have the GoFundMe next to me, but we've already raised $50. The GoFundMe is going to contribute, just as you said, to all the necessities we need. If you check my personal Twitter account, I've been making statements about making projections as to the cost of AirPlay. I can, if you want, start to disclose right now how much I think some of these things are going to cost for us. We have a lot of pretty accurate estimates of what's going to cost how much, and we think we're definitely going to be able to keep everything we need out of AirPlay under that $10,000 margin. If there are, and we have a few more costs that we haven't added yet, such as the cost of hiring police, but we have enough overhead at this point that even if that cost is higher than we anticipated, we're going to have enough money left over that none of this is going to be a problem. And given my experience coordinating the original AirPlay and other events before that, I can tell you that level of overhead adds this extra security net for your event. say something goes wrong, a piece of equipment breaks, a tire pops, and a panelist is stuck trying to travel somewhere. Any number of things. You want a level of money there to make sure that you really have a way to fix your problem quickly and to ensure that the event can still continue. We're shooting to spend most of the money that we do get on everything that we need. Depending on how much all of it's going to cost in the end, we may actually have enough left over to feel comfortable paying the way for panelists to come, as in we will pay for their hotel. That's probably the first thing we'll want to pay for, because that's going to be the biggest bill other than the airfare. That would be the second thing. If we have even more money left after that, given our projections, we may even pay for their food and taxi travel. But any money that's left over from that sort of security cushion, by the end of it, we're going to send it to the panelists to help defray the costs of them attending the event, which was something similar to what the SPJ did. There was a dedicated fund going to the panelists to help make their travel to the event more affordable. That's the same thing we have planned here, and that's going to be associated with how much security funds we do end up having by the end of the event.
Right. And what we are also going to do with the extra equipment afterwards is we will be transparent with the money, how it's being used, and any equipment that we do allocate for AirPlay 2 will still be in the possession of GJN. However, it will be used for other events down the road, Gamergate and non-Gamergate related. We also like to make it very clear that AirPlay 2 is not a pro-Gamergate event, nor is it an anti-Gamergate event. We're making it very clear that this is a neutral Gamergate event. All we're doing is documenting the event, having a debate and discussion about everything that's been going on with the Gamergate controversies and related controversies to Gamergate. That being said, everything will be live streamed on this YouTube channel down the road sometime in February. The exact date will be announced on this channel and on our official website, gamejournalism.net. John, is there anything else we can add to this update?
Other than that, we could start to open the line to questions such as, where exactly is my money going? What other panelists have you contacted? I'm not sure how much of that information you're willing to give out at this moment, or how many other details you're willing to. We have reached
out to some of the original panelists who are at the original AirPlay. We are reaching out to a lot of people have suggested a bunch of people who are on the anti side. Pro Gamergaters have also recommended a few, and we are also looking for people to suggest more people that they would like to invite to this AirPlay. So if you do have any suggestions for people you would like to see at AirPlay 2, you can leave a comment below in this video, either on the live stream or after the live stream has ended, and when the video is live on this YouTube channel. We also do have a Twitter account, GameJournalNet, I believe, at
GameJournalNet.
GameJournalNet. Yeah, sorry. We just started the Twitter account, and I believe it or not, this reporter has only just learned how to use Twitter in the past year. So, John, what was the exact Twitter account?
At GameJournalNet, all one word.
Okay. And if you have any suggestions for people you'd like to see at this upcoming AirPlay, please do so on our Twitter account, or you can do so on this YouTube video, or on the Reddit boards that we've been posting on Kotaku in Action. That being said, a couple of people we have invited so far, again, are people who were at the original AirPlay. We're looking at any and all suggestions. One person that was suggested that we will be inviting is Jack Thompson, who is a former attorney in Florida. We've been trying to get in contact with him. He's someone that a lot of people have been suggesting we bring in, and is no stranger to video game controversy before Gamergate even. For some of you youngsters out there was a game that came out called Grand Theft Auto, and he was against Grand Theft Auto because he believed video games cause violence. And this is someone we'd like to bring onto the debate, as well as others. Who else was suggested?
Out of suggestions, I'm not quite sure, but I will say if anybody feels like there's a little bit of hesitance in us saying any names, it's because we want to make sure that we're not misleading anybody and thinking somebody might come. We're waiting for confirmation from the panelists to say, yes, I am committed to this, bar something else does not allow me to attend. and we're in contact with quite a few different panelists. We're in contact with a lot of people. We're just waiting for some of them to decide. Some of them are said, hey, we'll get back to you tomorrow or Tuesday even. So
A lot of emails just went out today, actually.
a lot of emails did go out today, but 2 panelists we can confirm that will attend are Mark Seb and Derek Smart.
Okay. That being said, we're also going to have 2 panels that have been confirmed. One is the continuation panel, will be one of the earlier panels that pretty much will continue the conversation where the last AirPlay left off. For some of you who did see some live streams, we did have some coverage outside, both on this channel and Derek Smart's Periscope account, I believe, correct?
Yeah, the panel outside from it was
Well,
a thing.
actually, no. I'm sorry. The panel that was filmed by the people who are filming the documentary "Gamers Are Not Dead," and that footage is on their YouTube account. It was briefly continuing there, but however, we do wish to continue the panel as it left off. Hopefully, starting with where exactly did it leave off last? I think it was Christina Hoff Summers or it was Milo Yiannopoulos talking. Right?
It was Milo talking, I believe.
It was Milo talking.
The look on his face after he got interrupted was just a little too iconic for me to forget.
Right. But we do want to continue it from there, and we will be having a 1-hour discussion explaining what Gamergate is. We're going to be bringing in people from both the pro, neutral, and anti side to hear from their side what Gamergate is and what exactly has been going on with the controversy as a whole. Both ethics and gaming journalism, both with harassment, both with cronyism, nepotism, so many issues have been going on, but we want to hear from every side what Gamergate is to them and hopefully identify it for the sake of our follow-up panel, which is AirPlay 2, The Debate Continues. That sounds very sequel-y, I know, but it is kind of a sequel, so to speak, anyway.
I wasn't the one who came up with the name. It was all him.
You can blame me for that. Aside from that, I think we can open up to some questions and some suggestions for AirPlay 2. Do we have anything on the live chat on the YouTube channel, John?
Well, somebody just said that they don't hate me, but they disagree with my stances, and I would like to reply to Geek Variety. You're entitled to your opinion, and that's completely fine.
We would also like to make it very clear again that John, while he is here as a GJN contributor, he is in no way, shape, or form barred from his opinions outside of GJN. His opinions do not reflect those of Game Journalism Networks. And we'd like to make it very clear that both John and myself, when we're here on GJN, we will make a neutral stance as much as possible. But we do wish to ask our audience members or anyone who's watching any streams or any YouTube channels or reading any of our reports on Game Journalism Network that if you see any bias or any level of neutrality being broken, please let us know.
So it seems I actually confused that Geek Variety was not in fact talking about me, but another John in chat who will not be named.
Okay, so that wasn't directed at you, is that correct?
It wasn't directed at me, so that was my mistake.
Okay, live correction. All right, do we have any questions so far in the chat?
I have a statement from somebody in chat saying they love me. They really do.
That's not from me, I can assure you that, John.
No, I know who it is. I'm just trying my hardest not to say their name.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it was a great job. You might as well just fire me now.
Well, you're a contributor, and I don't think we have to worry about that just yet. I'm just going to check any other updates real quick before we do one last update, and then we will end the stream from there. John, is there anything else you can update from your end?
From my end, as far as tech is concerned, there might be a lot of people who are concerned, well, hey, last time the audio was out of sync. It was really horrible. You didn't get to it till the last second, or maybe they didn't like the way something was going on with it. This time, we're going to have time to prepare the tech far in advance. We're going to be using our own equipment. Because when I walked into it last time, I walked in with whatever the venue provided for me. I was completely blind. I had to shoestring whatever I had together. It was a very spur of the moment kind of thing. I didn't have audio working until the very last seconds after the stream started, if you get what I'm saying. This time around, that's not going to be a concern for us. We're going to have the equipment well beforehand. We'll probably even be using it before AirPlay 2.0 happens, just so that we can get better acquainted with it. We know exactly what we're doing. When we go into the venue, it's a very streamlined process.
Okay. Some equipment that we are looking at is we're hoping for a multi-camera setup as well. We're hoping for individual mics as well. It all depends on how much money we can get beforehand, but we cannot do this unless we get help from viewers or anyone who's interested in seeing this conversation continue. Anyone who's willing to donate, the GoFundMe link will be available at the end of this video in the comments below, and will be available in the live chat. It's also available on our Twitter account, and it will be linked on our official website, gamejournalism.net. It'll be in the AirPlay 2 bar, and it'll be in the second update in that part of the website. Do we have any other questions at the moment, John?
Not that I'm seeing directly out of the chat, but my phone is blowing up, so there could be somebody on Twitter asking a question.
Yeah, I'm getting some here too. I'm gonna do a quick look as well.
We might want to make sure if you have any questions on Twitter, you can get to us at #AskGJN, and you can always use the old SPJ AirPlay hashtag to let us know what's up. We'll always be looking through that.
Yeah, we also do have a new hashtag, which is #AirPlay2.
Oh, that's the new hashtag.
That's the new hashtag that we.
Okay. I guess it.
We have 2 hashtags for that officially.
Okay. So Ask GJN and AirPlay 2. All right.
All right.
I know some people are going to have concerns about the bomb threat or some other circumstance shutting down the event. We've learned from the first AirPlay what kind of threats the police think are credible, which ones are not, what different security precautions we can take to make the event more secure. I can guarantee that the steps we'll be taking leading up to AirPlay 2.0 will ensure that the likelihood of a credible bomb threat coming through and shutting down the event far less likely from our end, now that we have sort of worked out the kinks of what people are looking for and what makes what credible or not. So,
right. That being said, our safety is going to be a big priority at this AirPlay. We are going to have more security. We're going to have more police. With the unfortunate track record that's been happening with previous Gamergate-related events, both it doesn't matter if it's pro or anti, just Gamergate-related events in general, and everything we've been seeing at other events too, who have been trying to host some kind of level of a talk or some level of a panel. There's been these threats coming in. We'd like to make it very clear, though, that we will not try to be hindered by any threats whatsoever. We're going to keep going as far as we can. We're just going to keep going. This conversation needs to continue, both in a journalistic sense and to find out what's going to happen next. We're here to document everything that's going on, and we're trying to make a platform for everybody on every side of the argument to both talk, and so we can document it as well. Unless there's any other questions, or if there is any questions, I guess we can end it here.
I think this is a good stopping point. This is a pretty good stopping point.
All right. Joining me has been John Smith as a GJN contributor. I'm Aaron Pabone. This has been Game Journalism Network. Thank you for tuning into this live stream for AirPlay 2. Have a good evening.